Right, I think I'm back up again, and I think my internet is working again, hopefully. So yes, sorry about that. Welcome to this little live stream. Hope you're all well. So first of all, apologies, I did end up missing the last couple of live streams because I haven't been particularly very well. Like my shoulder and stuff has been really killing me. It's like all my neck and my shoulder and my head have been hurting. But so yeah, I didn't do any live streams last week. But yeah, I've decided that as soon as it's now the beginning of September, I'm going to kickstart all doing my live streams again properly, and hopefully get into quite a bit of a regular routine with them. So hold on, let me just. So what I thought I would do tonight is I really want to paint a few little otter pictures to kind of go with some of my other paintings that I've got. So I feel like I want to make them so that they kind of fit in with these little paintings here, which is some paintings that I've done recently of some little ducks. Well, I say recently, I've done these like Easter time, but I've just finished editing a video of me actually painting them, which I'm going to hopefully put up on this channel soon. But yeah, I thought it'd be quite nice to sit and do a couple of little otter pictures that end up going as part of these collections. Also, if you've watched some of my recent live streams, like obviously not like last week, because I didn't do any last week, but the week before, I started working on this like little fisherman friend illustration, which is a bit more cartoony, but I kind of, as part of that collection, want to have, or as part of my little fisherman's friend collection, want to have some little otter paintings. So I think that's what I want to focus on doing tonight, is actually sitting and working on some little otter scenes. So I've actually got two sketched out. So I've got one which is more of a portrait one. You probably can't see the sketches very well on the camera, but hopefully when I start painting them and developing them a bit more, you will do. And then I've got this one here, which is a bit more of a landscapey one, and hopefully that one will work quite nicely as well. I think I'm probably going to work on this one first. There's one other thing I quickly just want to mention before I start actually working on these little otter paintings, is that I really over the next few months are going to get into like Christmassy and Halloweeny stuff, and I think as part of my little Christmas range I want to do this year is I want to do a range of like hand painted baubles. So this is one that I actually done last year. Originally I was going to do it to sell, but by the time I got, in typical me fashion, by the time I got around to actually painting it and designing it, it was getting very, very close to Christmas, so I just ended up keeping this one. But I feel like I want to do like a little illustration of one that goes with it. But yeah, over the next few like live streams and stuff, I think I'm probably going to end up painting some of these perhaps on live. I also want to start teaching myself pyrography, like wood burning, over the next few months, and hopefully make some like little Halloweeny, Christmassy projects out of them and stuff like that. I'm just going to put this away on my desk so I don't break it. But yeah, I'm getting very, very excited because it's coming up to my favourite scene of like Halloween and Christmas and stuff like that. So yeah, getting very, very excited about the next few months. I get quite like productive. Also got Inktober to think about, and yeah, hopefully we can get loads of like Halloweeny and autumny illustrations and wintry illustrations done. But yeah, it's definitely my favourite time of year. But yeah, I'm going to basically crack on with trying to develop these. So let me just quickly show you this sketch on this little landscape little one. I think this is the one I'm probably going to focus on doing a little bit more tonight. So there's a little otter sitting here holding a little fish because he's very happy that he's caught a little fish, and there's another little otter up here who I can't decide whether he's going to have a fish in his mouth or not, but I just feel like I wanted to have an otter up here. And then I want there to be like lily pads and other things that tend to grow at the river, like I think you get like yellow water irises and stuff like that, and like bush reeds and stuff like that. So it's very, very roughly sketched out. So I think what I'm probably going to do straight away is just going to do like a wash of paint over it, and then hopefully we can start properly sketching it all in. So let me just get out a little paint palette, going to use my little broken one just because there's more of it. Okay, so I'm going to need a nice big brush. I tend to, on these little canvases, I don't know whether you can tell, but I tend to like have a habit of doing like a little oval shape just to kind of keep the background colour in. So it's a similar thing to what I'm going to do on this one, although it might be a bit more of like a half oval. I don't mind if like things spill out over the oval, but I just kind of, for some reason, it's part of what I like doing when I do these bigger canvas paintings, is I like having random little ovals or circles of colour in the background. So okay, so that is what I'm going to do first. Let's see how we get on. I need to, where did I put my pencil? Because I'm just going to quickly just properly draw the oval in. As I said, I don't mind if I kind of overspilled over the edge of the oval, but it just kind of gives me a little bit of a basis to work on. So let me just sketch out the oval shape, or the half oval kind of thing. Probably not going to be a very even oval either, but never mind. Even oval either. Right, paint. So, what should I go with? I think I might start off with a pink background. I can always change it, but I just feel like it goes with my other little otter sketches if I start off with a pink one. And then what I'd quite like to do eventually as part of this little collection is do some like sticker sheets, colouring book pages, tote bags, although that's going to cost a lot of money, but I'd like to kind of like do screen printed tote bags and stuff like that. And obviously as part of my little Fisherman's Friend collection, I've got like a bear. I can also do like bears and flamingos, kingfishers, so they're all going to kind of be like a little part of starting. I think that's how I need to start working a bit more, is working a bit more on like collections and stuff like that. Right, so I'm just gonna, just so I kind of, yeah, I can develop them around like a theme and stuff like that. I've obviously still got, recently on livestream I've been working on that big Sleepy Slumber Bear illustration, which I still need to finish off as well, which don't really fit in with this collection, but it can be like, I've got a load of other little sleepy animal bear things that I can add in. Right, so I am just gonna do like a wash of pink. It probably is going to end up looking a little bit muddy because I didn't lift any of the graphite off, which is a bit silly of me, but never mind. It's mainly just because I don't like working straight onto a white background, so if I have a bit of colour I can then go from there. But yeah, it's going to look particularly dirty around this bit where I've got a lot of pencil marks and stuff. Yeah, so me and my little nephews went, my mum and dad and my sister, one of my sisters, went to the zoo the other day, and the reason I decided I wanted to paint river otters is because they were the most beautiful little things in the world. They're really cheeky, they're really, like, they kept on talking, well, squeaking at us, and just, they were just really cute. So I've got a newfound obsession with river otters at the moment. So I'm just gonna, should have used a bigger brush really, just going to fill in all of this background with a pink colour, trying to keep within the circle, but it doesn't matter too much because it's all pretty much going to get covered anyway. And then hopefully I can actually start properly sketching out where I'm going to position everything. But yeah, I want it to be quite a colourful, bright, vibrant little illustration really, because I think it kind of matches in quite, the idea of it will match in quite well with this little ducky one, as I say. Reminds me I still need to add the voiceover to the video that I filmed for that one. I'm on a mission at the moment to actually start doing full like paintings and illustrations onto canvases so that I can hopefully eventually like sell them and stuff, because it's one of the things that everyone always nags at me about, is that because I constantly just keep on drawing in my sketchbook. But I want to start being able to kind of create like final pieces on canvases, and then obviously using the sketches that I do in my sketchbook to like make things out of as well. I really should have used a bigger paintbrush for this. Nearly there. Right, there. Okay, that is the background painted in. So I'm going to start by sketching out this little top otter properly. So let me find my little reference photo. Here it is. Okay. Let me get out a bit of blue and black. Just thinking I could, as part of my little hand painted baubles that I've been working on, I could do like a little river otter scene, but somehow I've got to think of how to make it like more Christmassy. Although I don't know if it has to necessarily be too Christmassy, even though it's a Christmas bauble. I'll have to have a think about that and see what I can come up with. Right. See if I can find a fairly thin paintbrush. Not in there, there's not. Is there one over here? Oh God, don't spill that everywhere, Meg. Maybe use that one. I think I need to get myself some new thin paintbrushes, especially if I'm going to be painting a lot more than baubles, because they need to be tiny for them. Right, let's get this little otter properly sketched out. So mix up the black and the red a little bit. Okay. Move it down a bit so we can actually see what we're doing. Okay, so the little reference photo has got a little fish in his mouth, so I'm going to sketch it in for now. I don't have to keep it. Could just make it so he's just sitting there. Rubber dust, hold on. Don't want it to end up too much bigger than how I've sketched it, so that's one thing I just got to be a bit careful of. It will change shape slightly from how I've sketched it, because I literally kind of sketched it out in a few seconds before I started. Okay. So yeah, I'm just going to basically compose this piece using like a bunch of different reference photos, so I'm not specifically just working off a photo. I would have taken some photos when we went to Banham Zoo on Friday, but I lent my nephews my phone so that they could do some photos and stuff, and I didn't really get a chance to take any pictures. I would actually love to go to like Banham Zoo and just like have a proper full-on sketching day there, or like a local, or like another zoo. But yeah, just go and like have a proper full-on sketching day. There's also like a nature reserve near me called Pensthorpe, which I'd quite like to maybe go and do like a whole sketching day there. It's one of my dreams is to actually like, you can sometimes like places like Banham Zoo and other local zoos have like artists in residence. It's one of my like dream goals to perhaps one day do like an artist residency at a place like Banham Zoo or Pensthorpe or somewhere. I'd love to go there, do artist residency, and then do like run little workshops with like children and adults there, where we do like art and illustrations related to the different animals and stuff that you get there. So yeah, I'm just with my paintbrush kind of refiguring out some of the proportions of this otter. I'd rather sketch it out first and then build up the paint, rather than go in and paint it and realise I've got everything in the wrong place. So yeah, I'm just going to spend a bit of time just kind of figuring out where I'm putting everything, because as I say, I'm kind of composing the painting in my head as I go, rather than working on a specific reference. So sometimes you kind of have to just figure out and place things where you think they might work, and then you realise as you go along that actually that don't work there at all. This little otter looks like he's eating a banana, but I presume it's a fish. I can always make it look more fishy. That's one good thing about kind of composing the image in your head. I am at some point this week going to be doing whoops, clumsy Meg. I'm going to, at some point this week, going to be hopefully painting this actual illustration as a final piece, but at the moment I'm currently just working on turning it into like a colouring page, so that if people want to, they can colour it along with me. But I've got to work out how to kind of attach it to the video and stuff like that. But I might have to put it up on like my Instagram or my Facebook page. People can then hopefully download it and colour it in as they go along. But yeah, it just takes me a little bit of time just to actually turn it into a colouring page. Definitely done his foot too crammed in an original sketch, but that's alright, we can figure that out now. That's the other animal I could do as part of my little fisherman's friend collection, is beaver. Mustn't forget that. Although I really need to start actually finishing off some of the work that I've been starting off rather than keep starting new things. That's a very bad habit of mine. I get too excited about the next thing that I want to work on that I forget that I need to finish off some of the other stuff. Like I've still got portrait of my granddad that I need to finish off. I've still got my big sleepy bear illustration that I've got to finish off. Although I think I might do that at some point this week, maybe as a live stream. I'm not going to spend too long sketching out too many details, because what will probably happen is I'll end up putting something like a twig or a flower in front of maybe like the otter's feet, and then it will be a waste of time. So I'm just going to kind of just block out roughly where everything is. Can't believe we're already in September. Although I am very excited because obviously it's like pumpkin and Halloween season, and all the craft related stuff that goes with that. I get very excited about. Love to do a few more like tutorial type live streams and stuff like that leading up towards Christmas. I obviously want to do some like actual in-person things like that as well, but I'll have to figure that out somehow. Still trying to work out how I can get my DBS check to be able to do it. Right, so we're gradually figuring out where this little otter is being placed. So I need to obviously sketching this little otter down here as well. He's got the fish. Got to decide what he's actually sitting on. Perhaps give him a rock. Let's give him a rock for now. Could be a twig or a branch. Let's do a rock. One rock. It could be like a pile of rocks together. Two rock. Probably need to bring it up so it actually looks like he's balancing on it rather than sticking up too much in the air. Yeah, so there'll be like a rock bit there. Don't need to worry about that too much at the moment. Getting the otters in the right place is more the thing. Bit more of a tail in. Bring his bum and his back leg out a little bit more. Yeah, I think somehow I've really all this year wanted to set up my own like little children's art crafty club, but I'm stuck at the moment on how to afford and get basically a DBS check. So because I'm skint basically, and I'm trying to work out how I can go about getting my DBS check done, and also it's a little bit more confusing if you're doing it self-employed, because obviously if you was like doing it through a school or something, you can do the DBS check through the school, but if you're doing it more self-employed, it's just a bit more confusing. So I need to figure that out somehow, because I really want to get into teaching children art and craft workshops. That's the thing that's kind of holding me back from doing that at the moment, which is irritating me. It's definitely always the money side. I did wonder the other day whether I could make like some things to sell to raise money to be able to get the DBS check, like maybe some children's colouring book pages and stuff, but yeah, I need to have a think, because I really want, it's something I've always really wanted to do, and I did used to do run children's art and craft workshops when I was younger, and I really loved it. But yeah, struggling to get it all set up and going at the moment. Hopefully one day though. Right, I'm just going to find a little reference of the otter that is standing at the front, eating his little fish, and then I'll have to start developing like the lily pads and things like that. Why is it I always find like a really cute reference photo for something else when I'm busy drawing something? I'll have to come back to that. It's actually a little, there's another little reference of like a little sea otter eating a fish, which I might have to do that one in my sketchbook at a later date. Right, let's see if I can find, there it is. So I now need to sketch in this little otter down here, which at the moment is just like a little blurry pencil pile, but I just got to figure out how. So it's only really his head sticking out of the water, so I think it's probably going to be roughly taking up this area. Yeah, we'll go for it. That's where I'm going to start anyway. Here's actually, just realised it's the same reference photo of an otter that I sketched out down here. So I kind of use a mixture of the two. It's quite handy. So yeah, I'm basically gonna be putting him round about here. Might make him a little bit bigger though, not that much bigger though. Right, let's get him. So I'm gonna do it. I want there to be a little bit of room for some like tops of lily pads. So I might do it so that his body is coming out here, which would make sense because it's about sort of a third of the way up type of thing. And then the fish will end up basically kind of in the middle. Yeah, so that makes sense, I guess. Tend to try and work in thirds when I'm developing like a little composition or an illustration. So that's his little shoulder. The Inktober prompt list came out the other day, so I've been sitting there trying to work out how exactly I'm going to be doing for that. I know I want to make some videos. Also got to decide if I'm going to be doing any of them on live stream. Yeah, I've just got to sit and kind of have a bit of a think. I know I kind of want to use Inktober as a way to explore like stories and children's storybook art and stuff like that. Yeah, there was one person in Inktober last year who used it to actually kind of write a story about a character. So each day they kind of illustrated their character in a different scenario that went with the Inktober prompt word. That was quite a good one to do. Although I might end up using like a combination of a few prompt lists. That's what I have been known to do in the past, especially if the words aren't particularly that like interesting. Okay. Trying to work out how much I want it to collide with the other otter's tail. Quite good getting another chance to paint this otter again, because obviously I've got this otter, I already tried painting it on this piece of paper, but I think when I painted it on this piece of paper I done like his head not quite the right shape. It was getting there, but it kind of needed a bit more work, a bit more practice. It wasn't quite as like pointy as what it is in the actual reference photo. Okay, just line up. Where's his nose? Line up his nose with where it lines up with his paw. That's quite handy. I just had an idea for, like, when I do my little, kind of think of a few ideas for that. I'm gonna do it as like a little separate art video. Right, let's put the little fish in. I think when I actually come to paint it, I'm going to realise that I've done his paw slightly in the wrong position. I think it needs to come in more like that, closer to him basically, but that's alright. That can all be fixed when I come to doing the actual painting. Right, let's get this little fish sketched in. Yeah, because that fish is going out too far, so his paw needs to be a bit closer to him, like that. Comes out to about there. I'll just do a fish blob for now. Right, that's roughly where that otter can go. Just going to put a few more rocks in for where this little otter tail might actually, even though the reference it goes down quite straight, I might lift his otter tail up a little bit, just so it comes a bit further away from this little guy's head. Another rock in down here. Maybe a rock to fill in this little gap here. It can either be rock or water. I think rock works quite well. Let's make these little rock shapes here a bit more I don't know the word. A bit more rocky. Right, okay. What should we figure out next? I feel like I need to either figure out the lily pads or what's going on behind. Let's figure out what's going on behind quickly, because it shouldn't take too long. That might end up being more something that I paint in as I go along, the what's going on behind him, but let's just start off. So that's all going to be quite dark waterline. Dark waterline. Might put another rock in there. Might just be part of one big boulder. And then let's put in some tall grasses. I don't need to paint all of these in. This will all just come when I'm not doing the underpainting. I can kind of work on the background a bit more. I'm just gonna put in a few little bits and pieces just so I know what I want to put in there. Maybe some bulrushes. Like that. A few more. Yeah, I don't need to paint all of these bits in. Yeah, so behind the otter's back, that's all going to end up being fairly green and full of like reeds and leaves and bulrushes, so I don't really need to paint all of them in. It's going to indicate that that's what I want to put there by putting a few little lines in. Right, it's more down at the front I need to focus on developing now, so I think I definitely want to put some water lilies, so I need to do some which are quite close and then some which are a bit further away. So I'll start off with the ones that I want to put in quite close. Just wondering whether to pull out some of this rock a bit more so it comes there-ish. That's something that I can figure out a bit more as I go. Just darken this bit so I know what I'm doing about my water line. I think I am going to bring out that rock. Okay. I still need to decide if he is actually having a fish, or he might be waiting for this one to bring him a fish. I like to have little stories behind what's going on in some of my little paintings. So I think maybe ignore doing it so he's waiting with the mouth open for this one to bring it a little fish. That could work quite nicely. Right, let's find some lily pad references. And we'll fill in this little front bit down here with a few little lily pads. And then I think we're getting there with working out the composition, which is quite good, because then means I can then actually start painting it. Lily pads. Have a quick sip of my tea whilst Google is sorting itself out. He is really cold. Ugh. Come on, Google, don't usually take this long. There we go. Lily pads. Aha, right. Okay, so where am I going to put the main? I think I'll put the main one just off centre, so it's kind of landing about here. How if I actually moved my picture up so you could see what I was doing? So the ones that are closer to like the foreground, I'm going to kind of do it as though you're almost as though you're standing on the lily pad, so you kind of, because it's obviously closer to you, so you're not going to get completely all of the underneath part of the lily pad in, or the underneath petals. Another petal in this bit here. Might end up being quite handy being quite close to the fish, because I could, if I wanted to, like if I don't want to draw the fish's face and stuff, use a petal to cover up the fish's face. But we'll figure it out as we go. Or the fish could be, probably make more sense if the fish was coming in front of the lily pad a little, or the lily a little bit. Funny little yellow bits inside. A bit more of the lily pad coming there. Or the actual lily, it's not the pad bit yet. Okay, right, let's try and draw a little bit of the front of the actual pad. I still want there to be a bit of water showing between the lily pad and the otter, so we'll just draw like a little lily pad bit in there. Of a lily pad bit in there. Let's draw some slightly smaller ones here. It's made that decision for me. I couldn't decide whether to do a rock or a lily pad there, but I think I'm going to draw a lily pad or another lily. Make it slightly smaller so it kind of uses up that much. And there can be another lily pad there-ish, I think. Just try and make it so they gradually get a little bit smaller as they move. It's almost like it's a frog's point of view of an otter. Right, so let me sketch out another little lily. So I want to put petal there. This one you're probably going to see a bit more of the ones that come towards you or fold outwards a bit. couple of lily pads in down here, but I also want to leave some water showing, and maybe could put just like the edge of another lily pad starting here-ish. So yeah, that's all kind of water. Sketch out a few more of these petals for this little lily pad, but we're getting there. We're figuring out the composition for this now. So yeah, them petals will roughly go in there. Okay. It's almost like it's a frog's eye view of some otters. So you've got to kind of imagine there's like a little frog sitting on the lily pads that are kind of off the paper down here. And he's sitting there having a good old spy on them, looking at the little otter bringing his other otter friend some fish. And then, so there'll be probably just another little, I'm not going to paint all the petals or sketch all the, but probably be another like lily pad here-ish. Just do a few little squiggly lines to indicate that. It's a good thing about doing a little underpainting is that you can always cover up anything that you don't want. Because I might find that when I start painting it, there's bits of it that don't quite work together and stuff like that, so I don't want to spend too long sketching everything out, because if I'm then going to end up painting it in anyway, it'd just be a waste of time. Right, so we've got lily pad, squiggle for a lily pad. This bit will probably all be water, 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 rocks, otter, otter, leaves. So hopefully it's going to be quite a bright, colourful painting. Right, what I've got to decide what to do now is whether to sketch out this second one or whether to go straight into painting this one. What do I feel like doing? I'm kind of in a sketching mood at the moment, so I think whilst I'm on a roll with the whole sketching business, I might do that. I'll keep this one here just as a quick little reference, because I kind of want them to belong in the same series, so there'll probably be quite a few little lily pads and stuff on there. I am hoping to actually start painting them tonight, because hopefully go on for a bit longer. Right, so same thing with this. I'm going to paint the background and then figure out where I'm putting these ones. So the idea is that this one's a bit more of like an up close view, and in this one the otters are a little bit more as though you're looking at them from further away. I'm going to do the thing again where I use a little oval shape, because I think that works quite nicely and it helps make it feel like it belongs in a series. Where did I put my pencil? I'll just guess the oval shape. Let me mix up another pink again. My trouble is I'm gradually running out of white paint. Right, doesn't have to be the same colour pink. I'm going to put a load of water on it to make it like a wash. Okay, it is going to pick up some of the graphite, so it's going to end up being quite a dirty looking pink, but that's alright. Once we get painting over the top of it, I'll cover all that up anyway. Right, so I'm just going to do like a little oval shape. Making the mistake of using a small brush again. Oh well, we'll get there eventually. I also didn't quite mix up enough background paint, so it's going to gradually change colour as it goes across, but never mind, it is only a background colour, and it will all change and be hopefully nice and bright and colourful anyway. Just gives me a bit of a starting point. I've not done this oval very neatly at all either, because that is miles away from that. Right, not a very good circle, but we'll gradually build that out a bit more. Right, so this one, now then, I know that this one, got to decide whether to use this little otter that I've got here as a reference, or whether to kind of go for a similar type of one where he's standing up but like twist his body a bit more and stuff like that. I think I prefer it where he's looking a little bit more directly at the like audience type of thing, so I'm gonna see if I can find a slightly better reference, well, not a better one, but like one which I want to use more. So yeah, I need to make it look like it belongs with this one, so I think the key thing is I need it to have lily pads in and rocks in. So I think down at the front we'll probably start off with some rocks down here. I quite like the fact that these little blobs that I sketched out for the otters are in this position. Okay, let me get we'll sketch him standing up for now, and then it's only an underpainting anyway, so I can figure it out. Right, let's get the outline of this little canvas done, and then we can think about actually painting them. I'm going to start off, let's draw a rock in. one rock. Okay. Let's draw his little, start drawing his little footsie in. Another footsie there. Bring his body up. Oops. Hi Nessa. Actually trying to figure out where to position this little otter, because I've started by doing this little sketching out this little painting. I'm kind of trying to make up like a little collection of little otter paintings to go with like my little fisherman friend series that I'm doing. So yeah, I'm sitting here trying to figure out and roughly sketch out where I'm positioning everything at the moment. I know that this one I want to have a little otter that is standing up, because I painted this little otter the other day, which is sort of in a similar position, but I kind of wanted to do an otter where his body is a bit more twisted and looking in different places. So I think I found a reference photo, but yeah, I'm just going to work on sketching out where I'm putting these two little otters at the front. Yeah, me and my nephews went to Banham Zoo the other day, and the little otters were absolutely adorable there. They kept on talking to us, well, squeaking, but we were pretending they were talking to us anyway. They kind of like ended up being one of my favourite animals at Banham Zoo. I got very excited when I saw the red pandas, because they're one of my favourite animals as well. But yeah, it's kind of inspired me to sit and paint a little otter illustration. I did take my sketchbook with me to Barnum Zoo, but didn't get around to sketching anything because I was too busy following my nephews around. They got very excited, especially my youngest nephew. Oh, thank you, Mark. Yeah, so I'm not gonna worry about sketching out too much detail at the moment. I'm just trying to figure out where I'm placing everything. Just kind of working out the composition a little bit. Because I did roughly sketch out the composition before I came on live, but it was like literally just blobs. So yeah, I need to sit and actually figure out where I'm properly placing everything. They've got very long necks. We've got one little otter roughly sketched out there. I feel like he needs to have a little friend at the front with him. Just a little bit, made his body a little bit chunky, but I can fix that when I come to actually painting him properly. Slender him down a little bit more. Bit better. Okay, so he's standing on his little rocks. Start sketching in this little second otter. And his little paw. Rest of his belly. So I'm going to bring the rock out a bit more here, so that I can then put his little tail in. This one hasn't got a tail in the reference photo, but I think I might just sketch it in, have it come kind of there-ish. That's why I think it's handy doing so many studies of animals in your sketchbook, because you kind of get used to knowing, like, you can kind of improvise a little bit and put things in from other sketches. Cup of tea's giving me hiccups. Right, one little otter, his eyes there, ear there, nose there, nose there, eye, give him an ear. Okay, so that's two little otters and some rocks. So we'll probably put some like flowers or reeds or something. Don't know whether to do reeds or lily pads. I might do lily pads more back here and kind of have long reedy things here, and then maybe the start of a lily pad there, because then that will tie in quite nicely with the lily pads that I've sketched out on this one. Yeah, so I'm just gonna, I used the lily pads that I sketched out on this one as like a little reference. I'm just gonna sketch them in. So let's do top of a lily. Yep, so let me just sketch in a rough idea of like a lily pad down here. When it comes to actually painting it, I can draw the petals better and stuff like that, but I'm just at the moment figuring out where I'm putting everything. So I don't need to go too much detail at the moment. So a rough idea of a lily pad, or the lily from a lily pad here. Quite wide, I didn't realise how wide the lilies are. Right, so there'll be a lily there. Probably be some of the pads near the rock. Again, I can figure that out a little bit more when I paint it. Probably need to put another lily here. have a bit more of the lily leaves that come towards you, or the petals that come towards you on this one. Okay, something quite doo-doo. Okay, and then I think I might put some like little something here, maybe some reeds. I'll just put in some grass for now. I can always paint in, might find some like yellow irises, or I think you get yellow irises at the river. Something nice and bright and colourful here. Like that. Okay, right, we've got a rock line coming on up here with another little otter on, la da 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 da. Right, let's get the otter sketched in. I think they'll probably end up being, when I come to paint it, some more like lily pads here. So I'm just going to very roughly hint at them. We're doing some little random lily pad shapes. They tend to cluster together, lily pads, so there'll probably be some there. Behind the reeds, like that. I still want there to be a bit of water showing here. Right, yeah, I was going to sketch in this other otter. I think actually, yeah, I did sketch out 2 otters at the back here, so we'll sketch them in. Do do da 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 da. Oh, typical. Just found the reference photo that I wanted for the other picture that I was painting. That's alright. We've moved on, Meg. No, there's a little baby. Oh, it'd be too small, I think. Da, 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 da. we'll go for this little reference. So it only needs to be like a little small otter because it's quite a way in the distance. Do them as a little blob for now. That's one little otter blob. Don't think they need to be that much bigger than that, the ones in the background. Okay. And do another little otter blob. Here. There'll probably be a few bits of the reeds in front of him, so I won't need to worry too much about all of that one's body. Right, then so we've got a river. Okay, so I just need to work out whereabouts I'm ending this river. Doing a little river bank. Probably about here-ish. Might pull a few rocks in. Or ginormous boulders. So there's more water. There's water. That's had another. My little nephew the other day when I was at Bannon Zoo told me off for saying water, how I pronounce water. Go get a bottle of water. And then a few more like bushweedy things probably here-ish. Maybe a little lily pad here-ish. and then greens and tufty bits. Or do I just carry on the river a little bit? I'll figure that out. Right, so got two little otter painting compositions now, which I feel quite happy to go ahead and start painting. So I think I'm gonna go back to this one again, and we're gonna hopefully get some colour on it. Nice sip of water. Right. One thing I do just need to work out is where I think the light source is coming from. It's probably this side. In my head I think it makes sense to come this side, because then, yeah. Right, let me get out some other colours. Yellow. Maybe a bit green. Really got blue and red out. Right. A little bit more white on my palette. Might have to scoop it out of the tub. Ugh. Just realised I haven't got my headphones plugged in. Right, let's get adding some colour and some paint. I'm going to quickly change the settings on my camera because it's not picking up much of the colours. So hold on. Woo. So I'm just going to basically layer on different blocks of colour. I'm not going to probably focus on adding too much like fur texture and stuff tonight because I just want to kind of block out, as I say, areas of colour. Oh, I need to stop doing that. I keep using my arm as a place to wipe off any excess paint from my brush. Oh, just done it again. Gonna paint over the top of the eye that sketch because I didn't really put it in the right place. So yeah, his eyes are probably more there-ish. Still can't quite decide what to do, whether to paint the fish in his mouth or not. I'll paint his lower lip in. Hi Margie. Thank you for joining me. Yeah, I think my internet's gone a little bit dodgy for some reason. Apologies if it does keep freezing. That's what happens when you end up living in the middle of like a blackcurrant field in the countryside. Internet ain't always great. What am I listening to? Just random YouTube videos. I have to kind of keep I think that might be the other reason why my internet isn't very good either. But yeah, because I live in like the middle of the countryside, our internet is sometimes, like the other day it was absolutely perfectly fine, but today I think it's struggling a little bit, not gonna lie. But yeah, I have to have random videos and stuff on because my brain gets distracted if not. I'm a bit weird when I'm sitting working because I can't listen to anything like new or that I haven't seen or heard before because I find it too distracting. So which I've done a similar thing for because I'm trying to build up like a little collection of paintings to go with these ones here that I've got. So this is my little daffodil and duck painting, and there's another one lying around here somewhere. They've flown off somewhere. Where they gone? Oh, here they are. Yeah, so I've got this little one here and also this little duck one here as well. So I'm building up like a little collection of like little river ones. And then the other day on a live stream I produced this little sketch of like, it's more like a children's book illustration of some like little fisherman friends. So I'm gradually building up like a little collection of like river / fisherman friend paintings and illustrations and stuff like that. So yeah, that's what I've been working on. I want to also eventually do some like little pictures of some bears, like doing salmon fishing and stuff like that to go with some of the little illustrations as well. But I thought tonight I'd sit and paint some otters. The other reason is because I ended up going to the zoo yeah, I ended up going to the zoo with my little nephews the other day, and the little river otters there were absolutely adorable, so I felt like I wanted to sit and paint some little otters inspired by them as well. Oh, thank you very much. No, I'm currently using acrylic paint. I tend to avoid oil, not paints. Not gonna lie, I find them. I don't like the chemically smell that you get of oil paints. They give me too much like a headache. So yeah, I tend to go more for using acrylic paints than anything else. Also, I'm slightly impatient, so I don't like the dry. Like, I know with acrylic paint that it can dry fairly quickly, especially if like I want to go over anything. Whereas with oils, you can still obviously go over them, but yeah, I don't always get on that well with oil paints. Also, last time I used oil paints, I ended up like having a weird skin reaction to them as well. So. I do want to eventually get myself some gouache. I can never pronounce it. Gouache, because I think that's kind of like sits between acrylic and watercolor. So whereabouts are you watching from? I do sometimes think with like buying art supplies and stuff, it's like they're almost like it's two separate hobbies, because I know for a fact that I've got like loads of different types of art supplies and I tend to hardly use any of them. Yeah, I've got like felting stuff laying around, I've got screen printing stuff laying around, I've got all sorts of different things, and I keep on buying them, and it is almost like its own little hobby. Are you from Tennessee? Wow. Yeah, no, I'm based in England, but I'm doing a bit of late night painting tonight. I'm going to gradually keep on building up layers of white and stuff, because I want to make sure that looks like it's quite like a sunny day where these little otters are. I'm trying to do it so that the sun is coming from kind of like here-ish. Let me move along a bit. Paint the rest of his tail in. I need to think of some more like autumn-y pictures to paint soon, because I can't believe we're already in September. Year's going so quickly. I feel like doing like a little fox in a pumpkin patch type of illustration when it gets closer to Halloween. Might try and take part in Inktober this year as well. Although every other time I try to do Inktober I've failed it, but I think it's because I get too ambitious with them. It's like, I think last year, I must have got to like day 5. And then I can't remember what happened. I think there was like, had to end up having a day off because life got in the way, and then I just didn't get back into doing them. What am I painting on? It is basically just a canvas board. It's yeah, I got like a pack of 5 of them, so nice and thick, but it's not too like grainy, because sometimes they can be quite grainy, but this one's quite smooth actually. It's not too bad. But yeah, they're just like little cheap ones that I picked up from our local, like, do you have like the Works in America? It's like it's a fairly cheap like arty crafty shop, but they also do books and stuff. Yeah, I just picked them up from there. Don't forget to paint his ear in. I think what I'll probably do is I'll paint the eye and stuff in when I come to add in some more detail and stuff. I'm just going to carry on blocking out areas of colour at the moment. Oh yeah, so it's a bit like works. It's like kind of like in between a dollar store or thrift store, but like a bit more, slightly more expensive, but not that more expensive. It's kind of like middly range type of place. That's a good idea, getting canvases from a thrift shop. I like, there's some people who, like, when they buy them, they just draw, like, there's one person who I saw draw like a load of ghosts and like a haunted, like a house that was already painted, and then they painted a load of like little ghosts and stuff on them. I thought that was quite cool. Like, leave a little bit of the art already on it and then done their own art on top. I think that's quite cool when people do that. But yeah, I can imagine they do take a lot of priming to get some of the red, like get over some of the paints and stuff that was already on them. I wanted, the last time I wanted, went into like a thrift shop, I wanted to get like a denim jacket and then do a painting on the back of a denim jacket, but I couldn't quite decide what to paint on it, so I didn't end up getting it in the end. Right, that is the first otter pretty much painted in apart from his feet, but I'll come back to his feet later on. So I'm now going to get the second little otter painted in. luckily I already have like a little sketch of that otter which I've done beforehand, so yeah, I'm gonna kind of use a mixture of both, the original reference and the sketch, to paint this little otter in. I'm hoping that like colour wise it's going to end up being like a really bright picture, so I'm kind of like using lots of like yellows and purples and pinks and stuff. Right, let's see if I can. Right. Okay. Straight in with his little white patches around his face. Oh. In this one I've got to be careful to not make his face too long. Oh, whoops, just ended up painting the t-shirt. Typical. Mustn't forget, I want to make sure that the top of his head is fairly light, because I think that's where I'm putting my light sources, about there. Alright, I think I'm probably going to leave the live stream there for now, because I didn't quite actually realise what the time was. But yeah, it's about 12:30, so I'm probably going to have to go and get some shut eye. Also, I don't want to carry on going too long on it, because otherwise I'll end up making too many mistakes and it won't be rescuable. So yeah, that is what I've managed to do so far. Hopefully I'm going to be doing a few more live streams this week, probably on Thursday and then again on Sunday. So during them live streams I'm probably going to work on these as well as some other little paintings and also some other little illustrations and stuff like that. But thank you so much for watching and commenting and stuff like that. And yeah, hopefully these will gradually come along over the next week or so.